And we are back on the Rodriguez Show for our final guest. He has been, I would say, a pillar guest. He's been here through many milestones. He was our very first podcast guest when we started doing the podcast on iTunes for the Rodriguez Show. That was like 3 years ago that we started podcasting it. Tre Hendrix, how's it going, man?
Hey, it's going good, man. How about yourself?
Good, yeah. You're back with the Tre Hendrix podcast. Not that you left anywhere. I'm just saying you got another project, Tre Hendrix podcast. Wow, I did not say that correctly. At Tre Hendrix podcast on Instagram, and you're on all the podcast apps. If you look for Tre Hendrix, you will find the podcast. And I just want to say before we even talk about it, shout out to you, man, keeping that consistency, always working for is it 14 episodes so far?
Yeah, man. Yeah. So, and I appreciate that. Rodriguez Show was the first show to endorse me. So shout out. Man.
Hey, shout out to Carlos. He's the one that was like, hey, we got to get Tre on. And man. So how you been, man? You know, last time we talked was way before all this quarantine stuff happened. How has it changed? Because I know you had to change your show too, right?
Yeah, man. It changed a lot. Like I've been doing it through Zoom now.
Yeah.
And I think it's more time to be creative, though. Yeah, I'm stuck in the house all day, but it helps the creative juices flow, if that makes sense. Yeah,
I mean, you have more free time, I guess, to just create. I guess.
Exactly. So I've been enjoying it, to be honest.
Good. So that was one of the things that started off this year, but then now there's protests and all this stuff. Have you felt about how we've all reacted to this as a country?
It's been crazy. I'm pretty sure you could tell, when this happened, the incident with George Floyd murder, rest in peace. When that happened, I feel like it awoke something, not in just the nation, but the world. A lot of people are using their voices and standing up like they haven't been before. So I'm totally for that. And I think everyone should speak out against injustices, no matter what it is. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's an ongoing battle, man. We're not done. We have to keep the protests, and yeah, man. Back to the podcast, real quick. How did you get started? How did the idea come about to do a podcast?
Okay, first, before I even go to that, I have so much more respect for what you guys do, man. It is hard. I thought it was gonna be easy. I just chill and talk.
Yeah.
But I always wanted to do a podcast for the last year and a half, but I just never got around to it. Then one day I decided you know what, I'm going to go to the studio instead of doing a music session. Let me just do a podcast and see how it comes out.
Yeah.
And then from there, I just try to be more consistent with it, and people have been enjoying it, so I like it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's definitely a chill conversation, but you do have those deep conversations as well. You know what I'm saying?
No, exactly.
So tell us a little bit about the podcast. How would you describe it to people?
Okay, so I would say it's kind of interview based. So lately it's been a lot of interview based, but it's also I might get two guests who probably wouldn't have crossed paths before. And I just have a list of current event topics, and we go over it. One time, I think we talked about 6ix9ine getting out of jail. Then a few months later, he actually did get out of jail. So that was a good topic. Yeah. We talked about the election before, the presidential race. And COVID-19. So we just talk about anything that's, current, and also like to do interviews and learn more about different artists and other stuff.
That's tight. Yeah, you've had a lot of great people on. But I mean, and if you haven't heard Tre on our show before, he's a very opinionated guy and very fun. I remember it was oh, I do yoga. I was well, I like basketball better. I'm all right. It's all good. We had that debate the first time. So yeah, you've mentioned you have interviews. You've had the Juice Kid, a lot of guests. Whim. Any other highlights so far in your podcast?
Oh yeah, the Juice Kid, that was a good one. Yeah. Whim, I was surprised he did it. He said I'm down. I'm okay, I'm just a small little podcast with 100 followers, but let's do it.
Yeah.
And I got a few other people, Russell Carpenter, who was a punk rock kind of guy, just to change the vibe. And his was very interesting. He talked a lot in depth about his addiction, his alcoholism. So that turned very deep. And I don't know, I like getting deep like that. I like having, not just on the surface conversations, but other stuff.
Yeah, and I think it's needed. It's very different than what we do because, we have 10 minutes and then we have to go to music again. But I really enjoy the format of just chilling and hanging out and having wherever it goes, and that's what you do on your podcast. So that's cool.
Oh, exact best way to describe it. Yeah. I would say so.
So you helped you helped organize the protest in Anaheim, right?
Yeah, we did the Rally for Change. It was me, Maserati Shells, Noah Alvarez from my Mike and I podcast, and our friend Live. And we did that in Anaheim, and it was a really big turnout. And
Yeah.
Maserati got like the speakers there, and everyone was a great speaker. It was dope, but really good turnout.
That's tight, man. Are you doing anything else? Like, not that that's not enough. I'm just saying, like, what's next? You know, like.
Nah, we're in the works. We're talking about something probably either this month or next month, but we're talking about it because it was a good turnout last time, so we definitely want to do some more and just be active in the community.
Yeah, dude, it's definitely a commendable thing. We want to do stuff like that for the show, but I don't even know where to start to organize a protest. So that's pretty big thing.
Nah, I feel you, bro.
So is there somebody that you, whether it be in the area or just like anybody ever, that you want to interview on the show, that you're like a dream interview?
Dream interview. Okay, I'll go local.
Yeah.
Dream interview. I don't want to say call it like a dream interview, but what would be a real good one is probably one of the most controversial figures in Orange County right now, Juice Unlocked.
Oh, yeah. We just talked about it with Carlton Fresh earlier. Juice Unlocked.
Oh, word?
Yeah. We had an interview right before with Matt Allen, and then he just backed out. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, that would be a good one, though, because a lot of people would probably have some questions, you know? So
yeah. I know you saw it, and I know you don't have to take like a stance either way, but have you seen what's been going on with Carlton and Juice Unlocked?
Yeah, I saw it last night when I was in the studio watching it all build up. My opinion, okay, like, to be real, like, some of the people Juice Unlocked promotes, I'm not really big fans of.
Yeah.
A few people I do like. But at the end of the day, you know, like, that is his platform, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if someone were to disagree and say, no, you should promote whatever, or you should promote this or that, then they should either start their own platform promoting that music or support a platform that does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If it
like
just unfollow and just be like, fuck it, leave. Like, I don't like that shit. You know, and then that's kind of what we did a while ago with them. It was just like, hey man, like, I see what you're doing. I don't have any input as to what you can post, so I'm just not going to support it like that. And you know, that's it. Like,
and that's fair.
Yeah. But you're right. They do feature a lot of people that you're like, what the fuck? And I think that's just a matter of like taste. I guess it's a different taste, different style for a lot of people.
No, without a doubt. You know, people, I don't know, they just make them seem like they're like the gatekeepers or something. And it's not like there's other OZ blogs, just the most popular blog right now.
Yeah.
Salute to Matt Allen, Juice Unlocked, they're doing their thing. But if you don't like it, then support a platform that supports what you support. You feel me?
Yeah. That's cool, man. So what else do you have coming up for the show? What do you have planned?
No, definitely. Now, man, I want to start doing in-person interviews, but I'm still kind of nervous about the COVID stuff.
Yeah.
That are real.
Yeah.
So maybe not until next month if things start looking better. But I don't even know.
Who knows if it's gonna get better?
Right? Like, you don't know. But other than that, like, just do some more music as well. I forgot I rap sometimes, so I'm like, well, let's get back in the studio.
That's true. The last show that we went to was Shit Out of Luck, and we saw your performance.
Yeah, that was fun.
Jan Sport Backpack. That shit was tight.
Yeah, that was knocking. That was a fun show.
Yeah. So that was my last question. How's the music, man? I saw you were in the studio making music this week, right? So what is that leading to something?
Yeah. So I got a single coming out. I think it'll come out when this comes out. It's called Lavish, featuring Travis Chase. That's a good one.
Hey.
And yeah, I've just been trying to pump out music and try to get a tape going for at least drop it sometime next month, I hope. But yeah I want to remind people I rap too, you know?
Hey, of course. And when it's done, of course, send it our way and we'll have you on the show again. Hopefully in person, but who knows if July we'll be able to do that, right?
Right. Hey, but I'm down with that.
Yeah. All right, man. So like I said, at Tre Hendrix Podcast, you can also just follow him on Instagram at Tre Hendrix, right? That's the Instagram?
Yeah, at Tre Hendrix 714.
714. Awesome. And then Tre Hendrix Podcast on all platforms. Thank you for joining us, man. Thank you for calling in.
Hey, thank you for having me, man. I appreciate it.
All right. We're gonna play we're gonna play some music, and we'll try to throw some of your tracks in there. We'll try to put some Jan Sport Backpack on the show.
Yeah, that's a banger. Put that on.
All right, we're gonna do that, and thank you, man. Check out Tre Hendrix Podcast.
All right, man. Catch y'all later.